makers, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a fun flamingo tutorial. So here are my materials. I'm working on an 8x10 canvas panel. My paints today are red, yellow, green, blue, black, and white. I also have some mixing plates to mix up all my colors, something with some water inside, my paper towels, and 2 different brushes. I have one flat square brush, and I have one round pointy brush. First step for our painting is to create our background color. So we're gonna grab our flat square brush and a mixing plate, and we're gonna be mixing up a large scoop of white with a little tiny scoop of blue. Maybe even touch a green as well if you want to get to a more of a turquoise or aqua type of blue. So we're going to mix, 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 and then fill up our entire canvas with this color. Once you have finished filling up your background with this color, we're going to give it about a 10 to 15 minute dry break before we continue. Once it's dry, we're going to move back into our flat square brush, grab a scoop of white and a scoop of red, and maybe even a touch of yellow so that it becomes more of a salmony pink rather than a bright rose pink. Mix, 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 and we're going to be creating the base shape for our flamingo. Once we have the color that we desire, the basic shape, we're going to be starting about center or right above center in our canvas and drawing a backwards S shape. From there, we're going to thicken up the body a little bit by creating a U and bringing it all the way over to the right edge. Then we can go ahead and fill in the base for our flamingo. Now for the head, we're going to be creating a sort of oval shape at the top of the neck, but instead of finishing the bottom of the oval, we're going to make it flat instead of making it round. Next up, we're going to be creating some shadows. So with our small pointy brush, we're going to grab some more red and yellow paint and mix it up inside of our pink paint. And we're going to be throwing in some of these shadow lines along the top edge of the neck and the body. We're also going to be adding some shadowing inside of the face. So we're drawing just a couple little lines and swooping it up to sort of blend in with the face. Maybe even a couple of feather lines along the top edge of the head, or even some feather lines down in the body, using little tiny brush strokes instead of really super long ones to add that feather texture. Then with a clean pointy brush, we're going to grab some white paint and add some highlights to the front of the neck and body of our flamingo. We're also going to add some highlights to the top edge of the head of our flamingo as well. Next, we're going to focus on creating the color for our leaves. So with our small pointy brush, we're going to grab a scoop of yellow, scoop of green, and a small touch of white. Now, some of these leaves are different than others. It's not the same leaf over and over again. So the first one we're going to do are simple long lines that gather in the same spot, almost like a fan. So I'm going to start at the tip of my leaf using very light pressure and then work over to the edge of my canvas with heavier pressure so that it's thin at the tip of the leaf and it's thicker at the base of the leaf. And as you can see, one by one, they're all collecting into the same little corner. Another type of leaf is where you put the center line and then you add leaves that go onto the center line, almost like a tree and tree branches. These are the two types of leaves that we're going to be putting all over in our background. Feel free to add as many or a few of these as you like. Now with a clean pointy brush, we're going to be getting into some white paint and adding the eye and the section that goes into the beak on our flamingo. So in the middle of the face, we're going to draw a nice little circle, and then we're going to be drawing these curved lines that start at the bottom edges of the face and go into the middle onto the eye. Then we're going to start drawing the beak shape. So on the top of that white line, we're going to draw a line going diagonal down towards the bottom left-hand corner. And on the bottom white line, we're going to draw a diagonal line that swerves under. Connect those two lines together and fill it in. We're going to come back to our leaves to create some highlights. So with our small pointy brush, adding some white paint into our green paint, maybe even adding a little bit more yellow into it so we have something very light and limey. We're just going to add a few lines throughout most of our leaves. It doesn't have to be all of our leaves, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Next, with a clean pointy brush, we're going to take a little bit of yellow and add some yellow into the center of our flamingo's eye. Then we're going to get a clean brush and we're going to be getting into some of our lighter pink and adding a few random little marks of this pink within that white space for the beak. Then we're also going to be adding some of the darker pink in there as well. Now, one part that accidentally got skipped by the video was the black section of the beak. We're just finishing the end of the beak with black paint and creating a nice pointed beak. Then we're also adding a little bit of black into the center of our eye and a line down the center of our beak to finish our painting. Now that's the last and final step, and we'd love to see what you're painting at home. Feel free to post them on social media and tag us at muse_paintbar so we can check them out. Want to see more from our channel? Make sure you like and subscribe, and with that, don't forget to always paint outside the lines.